Welcome to Life by Design for Chiropractors, episode 133.
Welcome to Life by Design, the podcast for chiropractors. Here's your host, Dr. Jamie Richards.
Welcome to Life by Design for Chiropractors. I'm your host, Dr. Jamie Richards, and I am not joined by anybody today. Another solo episode. We're talking about everything that matters. And it's a great, important topic to me specifically, something that's near and dear to my heart, and I'm excited to share with you my thoughts about this and how it can influence and benefit your practice. Please check out the link in the show notes to the new Ultimate Day 1, Day 2 conversion system. Depending on when you listen to this podcast, if you listen in time, there may be some bonuses attached to that. It's a labor of love. It's something you asked for. You wanted us to put together a Day 1, Day 2 system, what we do at Life by Design, and make it available to non-elite doctors, and we did that. So check it out and enjoy today's episode of Life by Design for Chiropractors, the voice of reason in chiropractic. Welcome to Life by Design for Chiropractors. I'm your host, Dr. Jamie Richards. Today's episode, we're talking about everything that matters. This is one of my favorite statements, and let me give you a little background on this. For those who are watching the video version, I'm here in our examination room, and I thought this was a really great place to be for you to understand the concept of everything that matters. So if you're listening to this on the podcast and you want to go back and catch it on Instagram, TV, or on Facebook, you can go ahead and find that, and you'll see the actual visual portion of this. So I used to say everything that matters. I used to say everything matters, and that used to be a statement I would use. It was built into our team trainings, and as per normal, Mike stepped in and said, well, that's not actually true. Not everything that matters, matters. Or I should say, not everything matters. And it got me thinking, and his point was this. When I thought everything mattered, I was just trying to make everything perfect all the time. Because in my mind, everything mattered. And what that led to, and you might experience this as well, is it led to tackling projects and tasks and wasting time on things that really, in the big scheme of things, didn't matter. And I was taking time away from the things that really did, that were the most important. And because of that, it was obviously decreasing my productivity. It was affecting success on all different levels, whether it be being able to spend time on marketing or my personal life or my health or fitness or time with my family. And so thankfully, Mike reoriented me and reminded me that everything didn't matter. In our true fashion of how Mike and I generally work, I then went back and started thinking about this because I knew somewhere in there was a truth. Something in there seemed right to me, even though I didn't quite have the language and the full concept down. And so what did matter? And what does matter to you? Whatever you decide that is, and this is really the main point that I want to get across, and I'll give you some examples. If something matters, then it matters, and it needs to matter. So what that means is, if there's things that are of high value to you in your business and personal life, then you need to treat them like they matter. That's the point. Too often we say things matter. You have all the documents and, depending on if you've worked with us before, you may have the perfect practice planner and you might have all your values for your business or the perfect life planner and you've got all the values for your personal life. But are you seeing them through? Are you pursuing them? And when you're not, and you're not pursuing things that matter to you or what we would call a value, that's where life starts to get bad. It's where life starts to become destructive. Because if something is truly important to you and is truly a value that you are working to pursue and you are not doing it, there's a reason why you're not feeling good about something. There's a disconnect. There's a contradiction. And that contradiction is creating a level of disruption or destruction in your life. And by taking on this statement, and it's built into all of our team trainings. It's part of our team onboarding. It's really a mantra that we use in the Life by Design Center and across all of our businesses. And that's that everything that matters, matters. And what that means is if something is a value for you, you need to pursue that value. And if you're not, you're being negatively affected. And so I look in the examination room and think about your own examination room. What does it look like? So a value for me is aesthetic. I want things to look a certain way. Professionalism is a value within our business. I want to communicate a message of chiropractic that what we do is elevated compared to other healthcare providers. We want to legitimize the testing process. I think that's a very important point for your practice, this whole test, don't guess mentality. But you can't walk into your examination room and you've got, posters on the wall that are just paper tacked up, and, maybe you've got a grid on the wall that you printed out. Everything that matters matters. And if this doesn't matter to you, that's fine. But it matters to me. And so, for example, you can see things, if you look behind me, we can see in this instance, the grid on the wall where we do our structural pictures. It's not just a grid on the wall, it's a grid, it's framed up in plywood, it's got a beautiful base built into it, our weight scales for bilateral weight distribution analysis. It's all built into a designed, system, so it looks like it's meant to be there. If I spin around here, I can see, again, the posters on the wall. Those posters look like they're supposed to be there. When we look at where we do our EMG and thermography, it's a screen, on the wall. You don't see a bunch of wires. Everything's wired in behind it. People can sit and they can watch the examination happen as they do it. And so on every level, this is just one room in the Life by Design Center. Everything that matters, matters. And that's really the take-home message that I wanted to give you guys today, is that go back and look at your values, both personal and for your practice. And if you have values that you're not pursuing, you will be able to look in those areas and realize that may be one, in fact, could be a big reason why certain aspects of your success are lacking. Or even worse, you're starting to see destruction in these areas of your life. So what you'll do is you'll audit yourself, look at your value systems, grade yourself in each of those values. So if you had health as a value, if you had freedom as a value, if you had professionalism as a value, give yourself a score of 1 out of 10. And I would say score yourself in terms of two aspects. One, what is my current score results-wise? What am I at for my health? Am I a 10 out of 10, a 9 and 8? That's great. Where are you? But maybe more importantly, what direction are you going? So in terms of my action steps, am I pursuing this? And am I working towards this? That would be the score that I'd be more concerned with. So if the scores are low, that's one thing. If the scores are low and you're an 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 in terms of your pursuit of that value, then that's fine because you're working towards it, and that's exciting, and that's what we want you to do. So, guys, take home message. Everything that matters, matters. If you're catching this, depending on when you're getting this podcast, speaking of everything that matters, matters. We built an amazing day 1, day 2 process in Life by Design. And essentially up until this point, we've retained it for only our elite clients. And when you asked us, what can you give us that isn't part of your elite program? What can we access? And so I created an entire day 1, day 2 process just for non-elite clients. And I'll put the link in here. Depending on when you catch this podcast, you may or may not get access to whatever bonuses and price changes there are right now. But if you do, great. If you don't, it's still well worth it. In fact, I would say it's worth many, many times what the investment's going to be. But I'd love for you to check it out. It was definitely a labor of love. You asked for it. We created it. It's there for you. Guys, thank you so much for Thank you so much for listening to Life by Design for Chiropractors, the voice of reason in chiropractic.